Hey guys, it's Mike from That's Cool Vintage Collectibles, and in the last few episodes I've been talking about some experiences I've had in San Francisco, and I couldn't close that series off without talking about the famous Fillmore West. And I'm going to tell you today about my favorite live albums that were recorded live at the Fillmore, and some of my experiences going there myself. Stay tuned. So today on the show, we're talking about the Fillmore West in San Francisco and all the great concerts that have happened there. So many San Francisco bands, that was their home base, along with the Avalon Ballroom, and just great music venue. I was able to go to the new Fillmore in 2006, and I saw Jonny Lang there, and it was a wonderful night and a great venue. They've done a really nice job on that. Of course, many of you have probably been there, but it was a fantastic scene, and I really enjoyed checking out the venue. Upstairs is kind of a restaurant, bar and grill, and I was able to kind of have some food there, and they have all the original posters on the wall, and I have some original posters in my collection as well, so I thought I'd show you a couple of those in today's episode. And after that, you go downstairs, and you can enjoy there's a bar area at the back, and then when the show starts, it's a standing room only, and it's just kind of general admission, but it's a great vibe and great energy, and Jonny Lang put on a great show. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed going to the Fillmore just to see that and to be inside and checking out the venue. So let's talk today a little bit about some of my favorite recordings that were done at the Fillmore West and ones that you can pick up for your collection. Some of these are records and some of them are CD-only releases, so I'm going to kind of mix it up today and talk a little bit about CDs and records, but hope you enjoy some of these, and maybe you can add some to your collection. I'm going to start things off with something that isn't a record or a CD, but actually a DVD. And Tom Petty, High Grass Dogs, live at the Fillmore. I really wish they would release this as a record, but to my knowledge, it hasn't been. It's possible that it was some sort of bootleg or something is out there, but I don't think it's been officially released. But anyway, that set at the Fillmore, recorded back in 1999 on the Echoes tour, was really, really good, and the Heartbreakers are fantastic in that. So that's just a DVD that I'd like to include because it's really good. Next up, we have the Black Crowes. This is live at Fillmore, and it's a double CD. When did this come out? 2006. That was actually the year I was there. So that's kind of the visual I remember of the stage and everything, and that's a cool live record of the Crowes. So that would be one to definitely check out. Good set on there as well of stuff. Okay, up next, the year that Tom Petty did play the Fillmore in that run that is so famous, his opening act when I saw him in Toronto that year was Lucinda Williams, and this is Lucinda Williams live at the Fillmore West, and it's a great 2 CD set of her live, show there, and she's such an interesting artist, very country, and but so much energy and soul in her performances, and it's very honest music, I think. So Lucinda Williams, that's another double CD that you can pick up. And the other CD I'm going to mention today was recorded in 1969, and this is the Byrds live at the Fillmore, and this is right around the time they released, what was the name of that album? I think it was Dr. Bird and Mr. Hyde, I think they called it. Am I right on that? Dr. Bird, Mr. I'm pretty sure. That's when that album was released. This is the concert that was surrounding that. So it's very country Byrds, if you're familiar with that era of the Byrds. But they do play some of their older hits as well, and it's a real enjoyable listen. That's just a single CD, and I don't know if that's still in print or not. Came out on Columbia Records. It's a good one. So that's another one to pick up as far as CDs go. Okay, so we'll talk some records now. So everybody is familiar with the Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore East recording that came out in the 1970s. And it's pretty iconic, and lots to read about that one out there if you wanted to search that one up. But they actually, on Record Store Day a number of years ago, put out, this is in 2020, they put out Fillmore West. And this is a great double record. And it's the same set, I believe. as the East, the one that came out. But man, the band sounds great, and the material is just excellent. So that one is really, really good and worth picking up. If you can find that one, I'd search that out. Allman Brothers, any Allman Brothers from that era is all right with me. Okay, Cream Wheels of Fire. The live portion of this record was recorded at Fillmore West, and I would certainly put that up there with some of the best Cream ever recorded, and the band sounds just wonderful. Really, really good stuff. So that would be something I would check out as well, and that's an original on Polydor. That one came out on. So there you go. Up next, Grateful Dead live. This was recorded in a few different places, but most of this is recorded at the Fillmore West, so you've got some recordings there on that one. That one came out in '69, I believe, and it's a really good live Dead album, if you like that era of the Grateful Dead. The other records I'm going to show here are kind of, well, this one, to me, could be the greatest live record ever made, and Humble Pie live at the Fillmore is just phenomenal. I think there's 7 songs on this, and it's just a scorcher of a set, and the band sounds incredible and in top form, and that came out in '71, I believe. And so Humble Pie rocking the Fillmore, that would be my top choice. If you had to pick one record to represent live at the Fillmore, it's this one. It's pretty good. So that one is one that I would highly recommend. The last one I'm going to mention in my little look here at the Fillmore West stuff is a box set that came out, and it's called The Last Days of the Fillmore. My box is a little bit, well, it's worn, let's say. There's a little bit of wear there. But this is a 3-record set. There's a 32-page booklet and a 7-inch interview disc on here. So Bill Graham, who used to do all the promoting for the Fillmore West, has an interview 45 on here, all about what was happening at Fillmore West at the time. And the booklet has great old photographs of bands at that time that were playing there. And, you know, so many great bands played the Fillmore West. And as I show you some of the posters in my collection, you can see the lineups were incredible. And you just think sometimes in one weekend were lineups that were greater than anything you'll see nowadays, and it would just be a normal Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday at the Fillmore, which is pretty incredible, these lineups that were put together. So those are some of my favorite Fillmore West recordings that I have in my collection, and I also collect Fillmore memorabilia as well, and I have a number of posters and handbills and concert tickets that are all original to the Fillmore. So I thought I'd show you some of my favorites of those. I've sold a few over the years that I wish I'd kept, but I do have some left that I really enjoy having. And first one I'm going to show you is this 1966 poster of Big Brother and the Holding Company with Steve Miller Blues Band opening for them. And great artwork on all these posters, the incredible artists that used to do the designs for the Fillmore West. I just love the, just as a piece of art, I like it. Another one that I have in my collection is Iron Butterfly. This is 1969 with James Cotton Blues Band as the opening act in that one, which is pretty cool. Another favorite that I just love the artwork on is Canned Heat with Gordon Lightfoot as the opening act. And these are all original. These are all posters that would have hung either around the venue or at the venue and to promote the shows and for ticket sales. So these are all original to the period. And to me, just amazing works of art. Another favorite I have is this, The Great Society with Big Brother and the Holding Company, Quicksilver, and the Grassroots. Is a cool poster. I've had some Jefferson Airplane ones over the years that I no longer have. I wish I did. That I did sell off one time that I quite liked, which was a color wheel one. I don't have that one anymore. But one I do have that's a little later that I really like is this Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers from '99. So this is the High Grass Dogs DVD that I showed earlier in the show. This is the poster from that gig, or the string of gigs that they did. And I was able to get this and pick it up when I was in San Francisco. And a number of years later, I had the chance to meet Tom Petty and him and Mike Campbell and Steve Ferroni all signed this poster. So that was a really cool experience to see that come full circle and to bring it back and get it signed. And it's just a great memory for me to look at that poster now and connect all that. And another thing I'll kind of show you here is this is a single month. This is April of 1971. And when you look at the bands on this list, it's like a checklist for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they were all there within a few weeks of each other. And I just think, what a time in music to have those caliber of acts all coming through and playing. And, it's pretty amazing. This poster actually has the black box, as there was some cancellations and rescheduling going on in that one. So that is the second print, I guess, before the show. It happened before the show, but it was the first print would have had the original lineup, and then it got changed, and so that becomes why that black box is on there in the corner. So pretty cool. And so those are some of my favorite posters. Now let's take a look at tickets and handbills. Another piece of my collection that I enjoy collecting when I see them, they're really hard to find, is original handbills and tickets from the Fillmore West. And they are, I find these are a little bit more coming down in price a bit over the years. I don't know if the demand's quite there what it used to be, but they're pretty cool. This is an original handbill. So a handbill was essentially like a flyer that was handed out, like a postcard, or mailed. This one was mailed to this individual, and actually it's a rock and roll shop in Santa Cruz, but that was mailed out for the show at the time and to be used as promotion to get the show. Now the acts on this are Eric Burdon and the Animals, Quicksilver Messenger Service, and Sons of Champlain. Were on here as well, and that's a cool thing. And I also have 2 tickets to the Saturday show of that gig. And even the tickets are cool, and that to see those 3 great bands at that time was $3, if you can believe that. Pretty cool. So those are original handbill and tickets from that era. I have another one that looks very similar to that one. I think it was done around the same time. This is Country Joe and the Fish, Steppenwolf, and the Flamin' Groovies in at the Fillmore West, and that one I just have the handbill of. This one doesn't have a mail out on the back, so this would have just been a handed out flyer to advertise the show, but pretty amazing artwork as well on that one. So those 2 are fantastic. Another one I have is Mike Bloomfield, and as well 10 Years After. 2 different shows on that one. The opening acts, Chicago Slim for Mike Bloomfield, and Cactus played in front of 10 Years After, so that would have been quite good as well. And that one is an advertisement, and that one also a blank back, so that wasn't mailed out or anything. Another ticket that I have is a pretty cool one. This is Zeppelin at Fillmore West, an original ticket for the Zeppelin show that happened at Fillmore West. So that one is pretty amazing as well. It's in great condition, but an original Zeppelin ticket for that show is pretty awesome. Lastly, I will show a piece here that is kind of, it's a repro handbill, but it is signed by Bob Massey, the artist, and this is a Pink Floyd picture that he painted, and he was a Fillmore artist at the time and did a lot of artwork for Fillmore West and Avalon Ballroom and other places like that. He did a lot of other stuff later on as well. So Bob Massey gave me that, and I really enjoyed having that as a piece in my collection as well, being one of the artists who did a lot of these items. So there you go. There's some pieces from my collection from the Fillmore West and my own personal experience at the Fillmore West, which was really good. I really enjoyed myself, and I think they've done a nice job in preserving the past there, even though it's a newer building and a newer venue than the original. It does celebrate the past very well, and I thought it was great. And those are some of my favorite live recordings. If you're building a collection of Fillmore West recordings, I think those are all essential and help represent that venue very well. If you like collectible content, rock and roll memorabilia, records, instruments, pop culture, sports memorabilia, and more, antiques even, we talk about that on this channel, and it's continuing to grow, month 3, so thank you very much. and look forward to adding more content down the road. Keep on collecting.